Hey everyone, this is Chris No. Hope everyone's been safe, your family has been safe, everyone's been practicing their social distancing as well as their hygiene. We're trying to do our part here. I've personally temporarily had to close my office and not see patients just because my practices are not urgent or emergent. So try to decrease the risk of any spread of infection. But that did give me time to think about some options that can be done as a pranic healing business owner, or any business owner for that matter, and how the new CARES Act can potentially help. So I wanted to quickly go through those things and see if some of this information may be beneficial to you. So Master Choa always has good advice. So when I was looking in some of the books, he said, what is important is not where you are right now. What is important is where you want to be. So constantly studying the matter to improve the situation. So because of the situation I was in, or many of us are, I try to figure out what are our options here. So with the introduction of the CARES Act, once again, this is for U.S. pranic healing business owners, or any business owner in the United States. Every other country potentially has their own loans and aid that can help out with small businesses. So the CARES Act stands for the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act. And the goal of this is to preserve our pranic healing businesses because as we have more cash flow, it allows us to continue to have the opportunity to serve, as well as to help others and take care of our family, as well as yourself. So there's currently 3 options. I'm mostly focusing on the business side of it, but if you own your own business or you are employed, some of your options are you can file for unemployment, you can apply to the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, and you can also apply for the Paycheck Protection Program. And I'll quickly go over these. So with the CARES Act, unemployment compensation, they expanded the eligibility. So eligibility for self-employed and independent contractors are now included, and that includes gig workers as well as freelancers. They also expanded it to be eligible for the next 39 weeks, which basically brings it to the end of 2020. This increases the amount available, or the unemployment compensation is increased by about $600 per week. And this also allows individuals who have quit their jobs related to COVID-19 concerns to be eligible for assistance. Now, the next option is called the Economic Disaster Injury Loan. So what this does is it provides, once you apply, it provides an emergency advance up to $10,000. The advance doesn't need to be repaid. And if you don't get the loan, you basically can use that for the payroll options. Usually you get the advance 3 days after applying for the EIDL. And if you do get the loan, it's a low interest rate of 3.75% if accepted. Deferment, I believe, is 6 months to a year as well. Now, the people that are eligible for this are for small businesses and private nonprofits. However, this includes sole proprietors, independent contractors, cooperatives, and employee-owned businesses, as well as tribal small businesses. Basically, any business that has 500 employees or less. And the funds that you get from the Economic Disaster Injury Loan can be used to pay for payroll, any increased production cost, any business obligations, such as the rent or the mortgage, or as well as sick leave. And this is for any businesses that have been in operation since January 31st, 2020. So if you were a sole proprietor pranic healer, this could apply to you since you've been in business, if you're in business before this time. So say you had an in-person clinic and you're grossly affected by it, or you taught classes and you're grossly affected by it, this could apply to you as well. And this is available until December 31st, 2020. Finally, the last option is the Paycheck Protection Program. This is also for 500 employees or less. It's for small businesses, nonprofits, independent contractors, sole proprietors, and self-employed individuals as well. Now, these loans are federally guaranteed. They start at interest rates of 0.5% to 4%. And it's basically based off of your previous payrolls a year ago. So it's based off of February 15th to June 30th, 2019. And that average payroll, they give you 250% with a cap of up to 10 million. And you can use this to compensate for any costs associated with keeping employees, independent contractors, sole proprietors, as long as it doesn't surpass the max of $100,000 per year. You can also use this toward rent, utilities, mortgage, and interest payments. You do have to talk through an SBA 7A approved lender. So if you have a bank for your business, I would talk with them and see if they participate. If not, the Small Business Association website has lenders you can look up. There's no loan fees, and if you have an EIDL grant from above, so from this that you got, you can actually roll that into the Paycheck Protection Program. Now, if you use the loans on payroll, the principal or the total amount of the loan is forgiven. And this forgiveness lasts up to 8 weeks of usage of the loan. And any payment is deferred, once again, for 6 months up to a year. And these are eligible for businesses if they started in February 15th, 2020. So the reason why I wanted to give this to you guys is right now it's first come, first serve. There is a funding cap. So even though you have up until June 30th to apply, the sooner you do it, the better. The EIDL loan you can apply right now, and I'll include a link for that down below. And the payment or the Paycheck Protection Program application actually starts Friday, April 3rd. So the sooner you can get your information together and talk to a lender, you can start that process as soon as possible. For businesses, that starts tomorrow, and for sole proprietors or independent contractors, that starts on April 10th. So by no means am I an expert at all this. I'm only sharing the information that I found, but if you need advice, I would talk to your legal person or your tax accountant. I'm also including some links for the direct sites for the SBA as well as the loans, and also including another tax accountant that was able to summarize a number of parts of the CARES Act really well. If you know anyone that would benefit from this, please don't hesitate to share. Thanks and be safe.